Hey everyone, welcome to Unscaled. It's Jeremy Long, the Full Metal Traveler, and I'm excited that you joined me. You heard last week's show, and I didn't scare you off, and now you're back for this week's show. Or maybe you're brand new, and you have no idea what's in store for you. Either way, we're going to have a really, really good time. We're going to talk some travel. We're going to talk travel news, both here in Las Vegas and across the country and across the world. A little bit later in the show, we are going to talk to Chris Walsh, the editor-in-chief of 50 Grande magazine. He is going to give us a look at some of the most underrated beaches in the United States. And you're going to be surprised how many of them are on our beautiful West Coast, but we're going to get into it. So maybe you have some secret underutilized beaches to bring the family to, as far north or as far south as you want to go. So we're going to talk about that here in just a little bit. But before we do all that, I want to introduce my co-host for this week's episode. We had so much fun last week. Thought I'd bring him back again. My guy from the Sports Vagabonds, Michael Price, MP. What's happening, baby?
Man, first of all, thank you for letting the check clear. So I'm back. I'm back. So, let's talk real stuff there. But no, glad to be here with you, man. Enjoyed last week's show. Looked at the topics for this week's show. Got me more excited. And I'm ready to go. Or as we say in Detroit, I'm ready to go, man.
There it is. There it is. And, it is only, it's not quite 150 degrees here in Vegas yet. We're not in that month. That's coming. But it's teetering. It's definitely summertime now. So you'll see the theme of this show is all about summertime fun. Best this, best that, all kinds of stuff. So, I thought about, there's not too many people, given your profession, Mike, and what we used to do and what we kind of still do and everything. We get around the city a little bit. So I thought there's not a better person to help me figure out. Number one, in just a few minutes, we're going to talk about who has the best pools in Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. We're talking about not my personal pool, although I love my little oasis in the backyard. You got a cool little setup as well. And we're talking about if you're on the Strip or around that area, and you want to know who's got the best kind of layout and all the I don't know, they got bottle service now, they got DJs. They're not just pool areas, they're like day clubs now, not just nightclubs. So we're gonna kind of walk through it, and you'll believe it or not, they're not all in casino type buildings and everything. So you want to stick around. We get a lot of
casino type buildings.
Casino type buildings.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought you
said. I thought you go with the word like resorts or something.
No, casino type areas.
Yeah, we got that term.
Sometimes there are children's around and they're doing stuff too.
Trademark.
But I know what you're talking about. You get the call from the friend you haven't seen in about 15 years or family member you don't really like, and they're like, hey man, I'm coming into town, can you give me some ideas, like you're a damn travel agent? So you're like, okay, I got some stuff going on. But then they start, you list off everything, and then they start with the whole inevitable, like, okay, I don't really like to gamble, and I've been sober now for about 18 years and everything. And you're like, well, number one, why are you coming to Vegas? This is probably the worst city in the world for that. Number two, sure, I guess I can think a little bit harder, come up with some, non-casino type of buildings, that you can party at and still have a good time.
Oh my God.
We're going to do that in a minute, but there is some news coming in and out of Vegas. This one, we're going to start out a little bit sad, Mike. After 29 years, the Planet Hollywood restaurant, which has been a Las Vegas institution for, decades now, has finally closed its doors for good on Wednesday afternoon. A hotel representative confirmed the restaurant stopped serving or served its final meal at 3 p.m. This is coming from the Review Journal here in town. But Planet Hollywood restaurant, any fun memories there?
I can't talk about them.
Oh, okay. No. I plead fifth.
Yeah, no, man. I've had a great time in Planet Hollywood. It was, when you first come to Las Vegas, the things that you notice the most are the marquee names. And 16 years ago I had to think about that. When I moved here, Planet Hollywood was one of the big names. You know, we had the Hard Rock, the Planet Hollywood. And so I would go there all the time. In fact, I met one of my girlfriends at the Planet Hollywood Hotel, Las Vegas Casino and Resorts, and great person, still keep in touch with old Rhonda. But, it was just, when we first moved here, man, Vegas was still Vegas. And I know they're like, no, it was. It's like, no. They were still just a touch left. And, it was Planet Hollywood. And so when you lose institutions like this and marquee names, it hurts. But you know what they're basically doing. They're moving out the old and bringing in the new.
Yeah.
And you kind of frown on it, but guess what? If whatever hotel used to be there wasn't torn down, Planet Hollywood wouldn't have been there. And so it's just the cycle of life in Las Vegas as far as hotels and casinos are concerned. Mm-hmm. But, great times, great fun. Working in the radio industry, there have just been a lot of events that have been held there, going out there to watch sports and, in all the different restaurants that are around.
Yeah.
What about yourself, man? Have you gone there? Have you ever tied one on at the Planet Hollywood Las Vegas?
Yes. Actually, not so much in the restaurant that's closing, but in the pool area.
Okay.
I know a couple of years ago they got a new wave machine. It generated the constant wave, and you could boogie board on it and things. Back when we worked at a different radio group together, we did some promotions out there, and so me and our friend CJ, shout out to CJ out there. I haven't talked to that kid in forever. CJ and our friend Brandon Hahn. People know him as Gooch around here. That's something to say. But in our wilder years, a few years ago, we had some really from, not dusk, but early afternoon till nearly dawn the next day kind of parties there. And always a fun atmosphere at Planet Hollywood. And, when it opened almost 30 years ago now, it kind of ushered in this new wave of, obviously you can tell by the name, Planet Hollywood. It ushered in this new celebrity driven era of, Hollywood stars opening things on the strip in Las Vegas, and kind of transformed it into a little bit closer to what we know now, like the celebrity driven, bars and restaurants and different things. Mark Wahlberg's got a place. Gordon Ramsay and Bobby Flay basically own the strip. But they're celebrity chefs, but more along the lines of like Vanderpump. Vanderpump,
Rules.
That one, but, Vanderpump inside of Caesars now, like where people can have these, stars, I guess, or celebrities.
Yeah, there you
stars.
go. Let's not call them celebrities. Celebrities.
Celebrities can have places on the strip, and it's, now it's kind of closer to what it is now, but a little bit sad. Hey, Vegas is not one for nostalgia.
Mm-mm.
We do not let properties sit. If they're not making money, someone's going to close it down. Someone's going to tear it down. There is no fear in this city. It's aggravating that the city is always under construction, and it's actually kind of fun, especially if you grew up like in a small town like I did,
right?
Where you've got the same building that's been there for 150 years. You don't have that here in Vegas.
No,
not a whole lot of that. They want to utilize and make money. That's what Vegas is built on. So, a little bit of sad news, but this is a little sad news, happy news sandwich.
Boom, boom.
There you go. I don't know where the sandwich part, because I totally messed this up, but the Bellagio buffet, the famed Bellagio buffet, is now open for dinner 5 nights a week, beginning this week. This is, number one, coming out of COVID, there's not too many buffets that made it through that have opened back up. But the Bellagio one, and you know how I feel about buffets. God, I hate buffets.
I was going to ask you about it, but I didn't know if that was a rule.
God, I hate buffets. But I will say the Bellagio buffet is one of the better, cleaner buffets in town. And, not talking about price, because price is relative and subjective to the person. You may think it's expensive. Someone else may think it's cheap, whatever on that. But I'm talking about like cleanliness and offerings. The Bellagio buffet is one of the better ones. Did you have any popular or favorite buffets in town?
I really don't. I've never been a buffet guy because My chain of thought on that one is, if you're not eating more than you normally would eat, why do you need to have a buffet? And and it's just, I guess, the big man mentality that I thought I had, like, oh, I need 5 chicken wings. I need a ham hock. For those of you who like some urban food, get a ham hock on here. And so I never, I've gone to the inexpensive Asian ones back in the day when I was 20 something and going for the crab legs, mounting them on there. But in Vegas, I've never been to any of these big buffets, but that is on my hit list. But every time I try to go to a buffet, I go to a steakhouse. I don't know what happens. I go to a steakhouse. It's like, oh, how did I get here? I was going to the Rio.
I think because there's no difference in price anymore.
Yeah.
Some of these buffets are outrageous with the price.
Yeah.
And you could go have a nice steak dinner, which to me, don't ask me where my brain can separate the two. One person is preparing a steak and another one's preparing a salad and they're both going, I don't know. I don't know how my brain does it, but I don't like buffets on that level normally. I don't know.
Makes sense.
I don't know. It makes sense to my screwed up head because my brain's just like one is unclean and the other is a little bit less unclean. And that's basically all we have there. Before we go to break, you know what? Research shows that a perfect, quote unquote, perfect vacation includes a couple of things. Off the top of your head, what might a couple of things? What's your perfect vacation?
Water.
There you go. Water.
Yeah, just water.
Perfect. The perfect vacation, according to research. Well, you know what? We're going to save that.
Okay.
We're going to save this. Well, what do you think out there listening unscaled right now? What is the perfect vacation to you? And I'll tell you, there are exact things you need for that perfect vacation, proven by science. J Long MP Unscaled. We'll be right back. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Unscaled. Jeremy Long here with my co-host, MP Michael Price from the Sports Vagabonds. There he is. Burping on there. We were talking before we went to break. We were talking about what makes up a perfect, quote unquote, perfect vacation. And Mike, you said water.
Water. And I've already water in my drink.
Sure.
Water to swim in and water to cleanse my body. That's all I need.
Your body is a temple.
Hey, it is. You can't just grow this thing, in a dry area. You need water, man.
Your body's a temple. Mine's a wonderland.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's like, what is it? Wally World? For vacation. It's just broken down. It's closed. It's not for fun anymore. It's just that kind of scary clown one you see on the side of the road somewhere.
Infrastructure.
It was fun years ago, but now you'll probably get tetanus if you touch it. So perfect vacation. Our friends over at Talker sent me this. Their research reveals an unexpected formula for the perfect vacation. I'll go ahead and play. There's a bunch of stuff that went into it. They researched 2,000 travelers aged 18 to 34. And imagine this, 36% felt that stepping out of your comfort zone was a necessity for an unforgettable, perfect trip. Yeah. And of that group, 32% believe that making new friends was the key, to a perfect, memorable trip. And how many friends? Well, there's an exact number. 3. 3 new friends on a vacation makes it a perfect, unforgettable trip. Now, this is 18 to 34-year-olds.
Right.
And this is things I hate more than anything. I think I hate this more than buffets. Stepping out of my comfort zone. Don't like that. Vacation is supposed to be about comfort zone, isn't it? Like you want to be comfortable. You want to relax, right?
Yes, you do. No, and I see the sign. Well, am I calling
you
it
see
science?
the sign?
I see the science. It's
I
science.
thought you were going to do Ace of Base there.
No.
Okay.
Because they're saying for you to continue to grow in life, for you can continue to, go abroad and do things. You want to meet other people, because if you meet these other people, they're going to take you on another journey, because you'll probably make a vacation with them. You'll probably go and visit them wherever they're from. And so you just keep expanding your knowledge and what you're doing. Mm-hmm. So I get it. And that used to be the thing that I did wherever I went. I always wanted to meet people. And so, when you go on vacation, you meet someone. Oh my God, we've had a good time. You and the wife, you and the lady, let's go to dinner. You go to dinner. You share a bottle of wine. You share some great stories. Oh my God, you're from wherever? Guess what? My Uncle Tommy's from that place. Oh my God, Tom Willis. I know Tom Willis. Then all of a sudden you're just expanding and expanding and expanding. So,
okay.
It makes sense, but sometimes not every vacation has to be like this.
Yeah.
Because what you're saying, when you go down to Mexico and you have your private villa, it's like, yeah, I don't want to meet anybody. I just want myself and my lady, myself and my family. And we're just going to have this inclusive, and everything we want is in our little Xanadu right here. And we want for nothing.
Xanadu.
Yeah. So it's two ways to go about this thing, but I see what they're speaking on.
Okay. I agree.
Okay.
To a certain one, yes, I do agree. Getting out of your comfort zone is key to a lot of experiences.
Yeah.
Not just vacations and not just travel. And I believe that travel and vacations are a little bit separate, in how you approach the world. Vacation, I do believe, is more of relaxation.
Yeah.
Travel, in a sense, is more about change in oneself and changing how you see the world. And so you're almost expected to get out of your comfort zone. And being a travel writer now and traveling a little bit, I don't think I see the world better than people. I just think I see it differently. One of the factors that moves me is that, reading that statistic I always spout off, 60% of Americans never get their passports. They never leave the U.S. Okay. And, to me, it's limiting. But I understand there are a lot of things that go into it, socioeconomic stuff, and, all kinds of stuff. And we don't have time for all that. But, so there you go. Our friends at Talker sent us a little thing. What makes up your perfect vacation? Though I want to know. Visit me, fullmetaltraveler.com. Let me know. What is your perfect vacation? Is it what they say? Is it getting out of your comfort zone, meeting a friend, and in fact, meeting 3 friends? Is that the perfect thing to make a memorable, unforgettable trip?
So let me ask you this. And it could be from when you were 4 years old to whenever your earliest memory to the moment I walked in for us to do this show. Because you went on a vacation between that time. What has been your favorite vacation? And it's just yours. It's not like, oh my God, this is because of this. It's like, no. When did you have the most fun and go like, my God, I'm really having a good time because I'm.
Oh, okay. You know what? My favorite vacation to this day is the trip that my wife and I took to Paris.
Okay.
And, cause it was like our first overseas trip together. And this was actually just a couple years ago. So, and it kind of kicked off a whole lot of other things about us personally, how we saw the world, how we saw travel and things. And it was just a really nice trip. And I burp it again on air during this really nice memory. So there you go. I mean, that's kind of it for me. So yeah, I want to know what you think. But before we run out of time, we did promise you some people's perfect thing is coming out here to Vegas. Their perfect vacation, their perfect memorable stuff is coming out here, depending on what they remember from how much they drink. Or all these other things that people seem to not like about Vegas, but they come to Vegas anyway. We promised you we were going to talk about the best pools in Las Vegas. And you know what, Mike? I will start off by saying my favorite pool right now in Las Vegas has to be Stadium Swim. At Circa, it's downtown, it's off the strip, but it's brand new.
I'm hating.
My guy, Derek Stevens, guy, Derek Stevens has built a monstrosity of perfection as far as you go there, you can swim, you can have bottle service. They got the screen. They got a screen outside, this LED screen. It's like 1,000,000 feet long and 1,000,000 feet high. I don't know. These are not exacts. But they got gambling and sports on all day, so you can gamble and do your sports and all this other stuff. And no one ever has to get up and go to the bathroom. Everyone just sits in the water. And it's just like this perfect place. That's always my number one recommendation when people ask me about favorite pools or day clubs or whatever in Vegas. I don't know, MP, what do you think?
Well, you know what? There are a bunch of them. It depends on what you're into. Because we can go to all these casinos and everyone has a day pool, a night pool, a pool of pools. Hey, we even have the Sapphire pool. And for those of you who don't know who Sapphire Pool is, look it up. Google that. Google that. And the Sapphire Pool has been in different shows. That's how popular the Sapphire Pool has been. But, I mean, we just have pools everywhere. The Hilton Grand Vacation Club on the Strip. People never talk about that. That's one of the nicest pools in here. But because it doesn't have a casino in it, people don't think to go there. But so many of these off the Strip hotel chains, and I call them chains just because of the names and the brands.
Sure.
The MGMs of the world and the Hiltons. Man, these are great pools that you can go to. And guess what? You don't have a bazillion, and no offense to the young people out here, get your business, your groove on, however you want to state it.
Absolutely.
Hey, get in that and have fun, because that's what Vegas is built for. So many people, I think we talked about it last week, get a misconception about Vegas. And they're like, oh, I want it to be this. Like, no. Gamble, drink, gamble, sleep. That's what you do when you come to Vegas on vacation.
Absolutely.
So, so those are, some of my top ones. I've been to the Hard Rock pool when I first came here. I was hanging with the young fellas. I was like dad watching the kids. You can just see all the kids just looking at me going, who let Pop in? Who let Pop? But I was getting down with the best of them and hanging. I've seen celebrities in different pool parties, but it's about the fun. So when you come to Vegas, you should set yourself up for success and get to a pool party. Don't be anticipating being there by yourself or not being a big crowd, because that ain't going to happen. But go there knowing you're going to have some fun and you're going to be standing next to somebody. Yeah, that's it. I was going somewhere different, but you're standing next to somebody and you just got to enjoy that moment.
I tell you though, one of my, talk about like old schooler ones, the ones that have been on the Strip for a long time, because now they've all kind of renovated their pool areas. They realize such a draw they are. Like the Mandalay Bay pool. And that area, Mandalay Bay, where they do the concerts and different things, that's a good one. Also, the Boulevard pool at Cosmopolitan. And it's one of those pools that's about I don't know the exact, I think it's 7 to 10 floors up. It like kind of above the Strip. You can hear the noise and hustle bustle from the Strip below and everything. But I don't like the Boulevard pool necessarily for the summertime, but I like what they do in the wintertime with the pool area. They close it off, down, and they put an ice rink in there.
Okay.
And then they play like during the summertime, they do play movies. So you can go in there and like sit in the pool and watch movies. They project them up on the screens and everything. But in the wintertime at the Boulevard pool at the Cosmo, they turn it down and, put little fires everywhere. Not like set stuff on fire, but like little fire rings and stuff. And then, they do hot chocolate and stuff I don't know. I know that's not summertime fun, but it does make me always think about the pool at Cosmo. My other one, and I know you didn't ask me this, but I'm going to say another one. Waldorf Astoria. The Waldorf Astoria Las Vegas pool. If you can get in, you can get in. And it's a really nice pool. And the riffraff is away, because not everyone can do the Waldorf Astoria. And that's whatever. I'm not saying it's one, but it is a very, very nice place to be. What?
I was gonna say, so I got to clean my nails. I'm looking at my nails. Like, I got to do things.
I was just playing with my nails.
I got to clean my nails to go to this pool, get a haircut.
Then they always have places like Wet Republic at MGM.
I was just looking at that.
And, the Encore Beach Club at Wynn. And these are all nice. Garden of the Gods, kind of a smaller area, cause it's Caesars, a little bit older, a little bit more old school, but Caesars has a real nice pool scene. And, most of the other ones now, I haven't been over to Resorts World to check theirs out yet, but I'm hearing nice things about it. So maybe, I don't know, maybe soon we'll get over to Resorts World, check out the Las Vegas pool area.
I don't know if we're up against it, but the thing that amazes me about this pool set, that they're all crowded. that they're all crowded.
People that come to Vegas and it's 125 degrees tend to flock toward the water.
They don't mess around,
They
bro.
do not mess around. Speaking of not messing around, when we come back, I don't know how that segue worked. We are going to talk to Chris Walsh, the editor-in-chief of 50 Grand magazine, about the most underrated beaches in the United States. Talk about places that aren't crowded or aren't overly crowded because not many people know to go there during the summertime. So we're going to talk to him. It's going to be a lot of fun. And a little bit later, we're going to have our most favorite segment in the entire world. Say what? We're going to travel edition, right? All right. This is Unscaled. We'll be right back. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Unscaled. It's Jeremy Long, the Full Metal Traveler. And you know what? It's summertime. If you couldn't tell in Vegas already, it is summertime. It is getting too damn hot out there to do anything except float around the pool. But you know what? That's what summertime is for. You get into the water, wherever you can. Lake Mead is drying up, but that doesn't mean that you can't have fun at the beach and all of that. So yeah, I got to thinking, where are some places where the popular places around our area, you know them, come on, out in California, but I wanted some underrated places, and just happened upon a story by our friends over at 50 Grand magazine, who, you know what, they did the research for us. They found some underrated beaches, and a few of them here along the West Coast. My guest today, Chris Walsh, the editor-in-chief there at 50 Grand magazine. Chris, how are you today, man?
Jeremy, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Man, I am so excited because this is a timely thing we need to talk about. People are making plans for, what they're going to do, how they're going to stay cool. And especially out here in the West, it seems like we are always on fire. Just set the sun on fire and put it here in Vegas. And that's usually what we're dealing with. So, first, you guys came up with a list of some underrated beaches. But before we get to that, first, tell me a little bit about 50 Grand magazine. Who's it for? Where can people find it? And what's y'all's mission?
Sure. Yeah. So the idea behind 50 Grand is that travel should be accessible and attainable by everyone. And there are places that are in every state worth seeing. So our mission is to inspire and guide more people to travel America. And we really look at the country through the lens of travel, but also music and food. That's my background, and so that's what we pulled through into the magazine. So if other travel magazines are focused on luxury and 1%, we're really focused on the 99%, the what I call attainable aspiration. So the people who read 50 Grand tend to be, interested in travel, music, and food, but people who are very attuned to like what I call low cost luxury.
Oh man, if you look up low cost luxury, I guess there's a picture of me sitting right beside it. And attainable food, music, and travel, absolutely up my aisle. And let's see, you guys came out with this incredible list, underrated beach selections. How first did you narrow it down to these few beaches? And I know one of your journalists, Matt Meltzer, was the principal guy behind this, but how did you guys narrow it down?
Yeah.
And most importantly, what makes a beach underrated?
Yeah. So we often run surveys to create definitive rankings of places. Like we recently launched our ranking of the top music cities in America based on a survey. This wasn't that. This was an editorially curated list of places that we bantered about. So these usually start with Matt coming up with a list. Matt has vast experience with traveling America, as do I and the staff. And so this is one of these things that we sat around a table virtually and said, okay, everyone knows the go-tos. Let's really put together something that's useful and insightful for people who want something a little different. So that was the process for this. There was a lot of thought and hopefully insight thought going into it and insight coming out of it.
Nice. Okay. So it wasn't one of these just hastily put together lists. You know, it seems that the travel industry is just inundated with lists that are, you know, often there's no thought behind it. I saw one the other day, actually. I don't know why I'm going on a tangent. I saw one the other day. It was like top beautiful cities in California, and the number one city wasn't even in California. It was a city. It was in Oregon. It's across the border.
Oh man!
Technically, the city isn't in California, but I'm like, okay, so this doesn't make sense. But you guys,
that's either a writer being really subversive or making a big mistake, right? If it's a mistake, I feel badly about them. But if it's a subversive list, that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get it. There's a lot of lists out there. So, you know, what we do in general is we try to spotlight. I mean, the nature of our mission, we're spotlighting underrated places, underrated states, underrated hotels, things like that. So we're naturally experts with this topic.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot of thought behind it. And like I said, Matt has a vast experience traveling around. So we think we put together a good selection of places that people can refer to.
I think you have, you know, there are selections here on this list from both coasts and down south and even up north to Alaska. But let's kind of focus, since we are here in Vegas, on the West Coast and where our listeners you think would be some of those best underrated beaches. What can you start us off with?
Yeah, okay, so let's start north and then we'll work south, if that's okay with you. Okay, so the first one is Boy Scout Beach in Alaska. Now, surprisingly, Alaska is home to some beautiful and like untouched shorelines, which you might not guess.
Right.
And this one is a combination of accessible, by Alaska standards at least, yet still remote, right? So you have to hike to get there. There's actually a Boy Scout camp nearby, hence the name, but it's a very doable hike for most adults. It's like 4.5 miles round trip or something. And so you access the beach through the hike, but you go through this coastal forest, which spills you out onto this white sand shoreline, and it's just gorgeous. And fun fact, it's in Juneau, and it's actually Juneau's sunniest beach, and it's a place where you often see whales like orcas and humpbacks. The one thing about this is that you really need to time your trip so it's low tide, because high tide will just kind of eat up the beach. So you have to be very cognizant of what time you're going, but it's a gorgeous spot. It's probably too chilly to swim though. People should know that too. So you're there really to take in the scenery and like I said, just kind of like view the wildlife and stuff. The next one is Rialto Beach in Washington. Rialto is part of Olympic National Park. It's accessible by road, and you're visiting Rialto to take in the outdoor scene. So imagine rocky sand beaches, drift logs in the water and up on the beach, and then giant sea stacks in the water, giant rocks. If you're lucky, you'll see, local wildlife like otters and sea lions and things like that on the boulders. Also, there's like a fun attraction that everyone goes to see, which is about 1.5 miles north of the beach, which is this really dramatic natural arch in the rock. And that's visible during low tide. So that's very cool. Again, this is still pretty far north. So the water in the summer can get up to maybe 70. So it's still a little chilly for beach standards. But if you're looking to cool off and someplace to go in the summer, that's definitely one. And just two more really quick. Cape Blanco in Oregon. It's another beach where the journey is part of the experience, right? The shoreline is only accessible via 8 trails, but it's another beach that's part of our park. So the Cape is part of Cape Blanco State Park, and it's home to this cool lighthouse, which has been around for 150 years. And you're really there once you get through all this tall grass and this rocky cliffside. You have this stunning vista. I mean, it blows your mind. Right. And so you're really there at Cape Blanco for the views of the water and the historic lighthouse that's there as well. It's a really gorgeous spot. And then in California, the Sand Dollar Beach. In California, in Big Sur. I love Big Sur. I love California's Central Coast. I think it's just gorgeous to go there any time of year.
Yeah.
This is Big Sur has, these dramatic cliffs and bluffs and the pounding water, but this is a secluded little cove. It's surrounded by mountains. There's just enough beach for some people and some towels and some coolers. But this one is somewhat popular. The others really are not. And this beach is just a half-mile long. It's one of the longer and, publicly accessible beaches in the area. So this is one of the beaches on this list where you may encounter some other people. The only problem right now, as many people know, is that California is having some problems with Highway 1. So Highway 1 is closed, and I think for another month. I think it's expected to open in mid-June. Right. And so access to Sandella Beach will be back then, but that's something to keep in mind if people are planning. But the themes that if people go and check out the rest of the list and what we pick, the themes behind these are, the first big one is don't expect crowds. We put these together if you're trying to get away from that classic like spring break experience at the beach, right? Yeah. Where you roll up and it's already packed and you're fighting for parking and the towel, space on the beach. Right. And so this is like the opposite of all that. And then if you don't mind on your beach day, being active and seeing very dramatic views, if you're into that, then these picks are something you might appreciate.
Man, yeah, just give me Pensacola Beach at spring break where there's nothing but a sea of people. That is the worst thing ever. That is my nightmare. Yeah. Beautiful selections.
And those beaches are fine too, right? They're fine for a certain thing if you're into that experience. Absolutely. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if you're on the West Coast, go ahead.
No, I was going to tell people where they could get the magazines.
Please do.
That earlier. Yeah, but we're all over the West Coast. So, in Vegas, I think we're in Barnes and Noble and nice. Whole Foods and these other places, but we're definitely around the coast or on the West Coast, or people can just go to 50grande.com.
Go to 50grande.com. It is attainable travel, music, and food articles. They have all kinds of stuff. I can't believe that I am just being introduced to this. You know what? Just put me on the list for a while, man. I got to earn it back as far as my traveler card.
You're on the list. Expect you have issues in the mail, Jeremy.
There you go, man. I appreciate that. So guys, we talked about some beautiful West Coast underrated beaches. You need to get out there. Hey, we told you we wanted you to cool off. So get up to Alaska, get up to Washington. The water's brisk. That's what we call it. In Oregon, get up to Oregon, Cape Blanco, where we absolutely love. And, of course, check out the entire list, 50grande.com. That's FIFTYGRANDE. Don't forget the E on the end of grand.com. Chris Walsh, editor-in-chief there over at 50 Grande. Thank you so much for your time, man. I really do appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
This is Unscaled. Keep it right here. We're going to have more right after this. Doing our thing, man. Talking, I was going to say talking sports. He's with the Sports Vagabond. So am I. But we're actually talking travel today because this is a travel show, which is so funny that they would actually let me do another show after all the shows we've done. We talked earlier about Planet Hollywood Restaurant shutting down. A little bit of sad news, a little bit of happy news. The Bellagio Buffet opening for dinner this week. Now 5 nights a week. The Bellagio Buffet is going to be open. We gave you a little rundown of our favorite pools in Las Vegas. And, of course, we just finished up with Chris Walsh, the editor-in-chief of 50 Grande magazine, some underrated beaches in the United States. Thank you so much to Chris and Haley, the PR representative, helping us set it all up. We appreciate you. Now, this is kind of where we talk some ridiculous stuff that we come across. Ridiculous, but sometimes just funny in different ways. Travel news that we come across during the week. And, in our sports segments, we do call it Say What. And I like the name, so I'm keeping it. Say What, but travel edition, right?
Let's do it.
All right. I got an email from some fun representatives who I really enjoy working with, from the Days Inn by Wyndham. They are introducing a compliments mirror.
Yeah.
Does that sound right?
Yeah.
A compliments mirror.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those things. As I was researching it and looking it up, the voice that they put behind it is Ross Matthews, comedian. Mm-hmm. And he's funny, and he's funny for so many reasons. I'm not going to delve into it, but
right.
RuPaul's drag strip, the whole nine. So these compliments are just hitting you hard. I got goosebumps. I think it's so funny. Now, the funniest part about it, Jay, are the cities that these are in. Mm-hmm. And I go, okay, this is probably going to be in Vegas. This is probably going to be in
no Vegas.
No Vegas. They got near to your home. They got Houston, Texas. I'm going to read them off real quick.
Okay.
Albuquerque, New Mexico. Brunswick, Maine. Calgary. Okay. Mm-hmm. Chattanooga, Tennessee. Houston, Little Rock, Arkansas. Minneapolis, Minnesota. Madison, Wisconsin. Niagara Falls. Okay. And it's Ontario side. Mm-hmm. Ocean City, Maryland. Paris, Texas. All right, Paris. Pensacola, Florida. Yeah. Panama City, Florida. The one that really makes sense on the list, San Diego, California. And Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. That's a twister there.
Yeah.
So I love where they, God bless that they have them, but it's these locations. I don't know if they're trying to drive traffic to these places based on this complimentary mirror, but just weird. Just weird. That's what I'm saying.
It's
Say What?
Something.
It's Say What? No, it's literally Say What.
Yeah. And it's like you push the button, and the mirror says things like, I think I heard one of them say something to the effect of, if I wasn't a mirror, I would steal your look. But I'm a mirror, so I'm not. You look great, or something like. It's just compliments to hopefully get your day started, on a brighter note. So Days Inn is now kind of getting their groove. I think last year, or the year before, they coined the world's nicest pillow. Which was a pillow that also dished out cheeky compliments. Haha, cheeky, right? You lay your head on it. So keep it up. I say keep it up, Days Inn by Wyndham, because, in the world full of just all kinds of craziness, I think fun stuff like this is really doing something, moving us forward a little bit. And I like that kind of news.
Yeah.
Okay. Still, gosh, man, I don't know what it is. Still perfect. Disney's immersive Star Wars hotel is set to close after only 2 years of being open. This is something I saw on CNN. This was, the hotel was made, the inside was made to look like a Star Wars inside of a ship, and different cargo holds, and it was very fun and everything. It just kind of is perplexing. After 2 years, it costs a lot of money. Well, relative. Again, it's all relative and kind of subjective about whether you think it was a lot of money. It sold out a lot. And I think a couple of nights stay was $6,000.
Say what?
Yeah.
Oh, see, there we go. There we go. Now folks understand why we call it this.
Yeah, right. So it was a number of nights, but it's already shutting down after 2 years. I can say this, though. Disney, if it is making money and if it's at Disney, they will keep it going. So it must not, it had to do something with money.
Oh, yeah.
It always comes back to money.
Said earlier.
And not just Disney, that's any company. Yeah. It always comes back to money. They don't do things out of the kindness of their hearts.
Ain't that business.
Speaking of kind of money, an empty sandlot in Dubai has sold for $34 million. And if I was Dr. Evil, I would put a pinky to my lip and say $34 million. an empty sandlot. Has nothing on it. It's not even developed. It's just sand. The guy who bought it, an American. No. I'm sorry. A guy from the UK. He bought it for, I think, $10 to $12 million. Flipped it in a couple of years for $34 million. Not bad, sir.
No,
not bad.
Well, I mean, it's all, like you said before, it's everyone's interpretation of what value is. And if in his head he said, you know what, I'm going to buy this because someone's going to want to build something in Dubai and build something tall soon. Yeah. All right, didn't happen. So he sold it to the next guy who, in his mind, somebody in Dubai is going to want to build something tall in Dubai soon. Mm-hmm. So it makes sense because property, location. And it's nothing bigger and better than building in Dubai. Still got to get there. Still have to get to Dubai. Got to put that in on the next several years, man. I UFC goes out there at least 2 times a year. Mm-hmm. So I think that may be the reason to get out there. Yeah. And,
in fairness, the Sandlot is on the artificial island they made that kind of looks like, I forget the shape. I was going to say a menorah. It's not a menorah. I don't know why.
Yeah, man, we can't have.
It's like a palm tree or something.
My brethren, we can't have my brethren out here hating on our show, man.
I don't know why that came to mind. But it is on that artificial island they created, and it is very popular. So no doubt someone is going to build something very gaudy and expensive on there. Yeah. But hey, good on you. Hey, if someone's willing to buy it. Somebody wants to give me $34 million for a plot of sand. I mean, right here. Finally, do you like Michelin-starred meals? Do you like Michelin-starred restaurants?
Yeah, sure. Because I've gone to at least 4 of them in my life.
Dang, look at you. No, I've been to a couple.
I've been to one.
Oh, you've been to one? Okay.
I've been to one. So, and yes, it was, it goes back to what we talked about earlier with traveling and hopefully not getting too off topic. Is that when you go to a Michelin restaurant, you can't order what you like. Mm-hmm. And that was hard for me to do because I was young.
Yeah.
When I was there. And my palate wasn't as sophisticated as it is today.
Gotcha.
So I think I just had regular stuff. And the group that I was with was looking at me like I was regular and basic. So I went, man, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Today, I understand what they're talking about.
I get it.
Yeah, you got to go for the experience. So what's the experience?
Well, this one, the experience is almost out of this world. Michelin-starred meals are going to start being offered as early as next year on the edge of space for the low price of $130,000 a person.
Okay.
Space. Let's see. It's a French company called, I'm going to butcher this name, Zafalto. Okay. It's a space tourism venture. We need to get in on this. A space tourism venture founded by former air traffic controller Vincent Ferre d'Astier. I totally missed his name, but I'm so sorry. Yeah, Vincent. It's currently selling pre-reservation tickets for upcoming trips in a pressurized capsule that is dubbed Celeste, attached to a stratospheric balloon. So many things could go absolutely right and wrong with that thing. But anyway, the capsule will ascend to an altitude of 25 kilometers or about 15.5 miles above Earth, allowing guests to marvel at the curvature of the Earth. So for all you flat earthers out there, Kyrie, in between, I guess, gawking at the views, travelers will be wined and dined in style.
You know what they don't tell you about this trip?
It's one way.
See, you knew I was going. It costs $130 to get out there, but it costs $500 to get back.
Yeah. Safely.
Yeah, right.
We might just drop you out the window.
Yeah, that's what they don't tell you. Be like, oh, you need to jump in this tunnel, this tube to get back, like my man did a couple of years ago.
Oh, Lord. Ooh, that turns my stomach even thinking about that.
Yeah.
That Red Bull thing where you just jump from the whatever part of the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, put you in a pressurized tube, lifting you with the balloon, and then you're going to eat. And then I guess 15.5 miles above the Earth.
Yeah. Skydiving is all I got in me.
Bro.
Skydiving is all I got in me.
Bro. Since Dennis Tito, the first ever space tourist, hit the skies in 2001, few have followed in his footsteps, but in recent years, high-profile space tourism companies such as SpaceX, Blue Origin, Virgin Atlantic have been making moves in this arena, vowing to make space the next must-visit vacation spot. I am telling you, rich people do not want to be around us plebes at all. They are trying to go to space to have dinner now. It is just asinine.
Yeah.
Asinine. Well, for Michael Price. Michael, thank you so much for joining me, man. It's always a pleasure having you here with me. And then for my guest, Chris Walsh, the editor-in-chief of 50 Grande Magazine, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. For all of you listening, thank you so much. Please share our show. Follow us on Spotify or wherever you get your popular podcast done. We always upload the shows after the fact. iHeart, Apple, doesn't matter. Find us on there. And this is Unscaled. We'll see you next week. Hope I didn't scare you off, right? Come back. Have fun. Talk travel. Say what? See you later. Bye.